I'm All Home Carter.
What's up, everybody? My name is Miles Francisco.
Hey y'all, my name is Tamara Coleman.
What's up? It's your boy Tevin.
What's up? I'm CJ Irvin, Caleb Irvin in total or full.
President for the Foundation of Liberating Minds.
I'm the current Vice President for the Foundation for Liberating Minds.
And I serve as the Secretary for the Foundation for Liberating Minds.
I am on the Executive Board or Committee for Foundation for Liberating Minds.
The current Treasurer of Foundation for Liberating Minds.
Some of these questions that we've been asked, I wanted to address today. So, why the name change?
This name accurately reflects the goals of our organization and the things that we're trying to do. So one of the purpose of FLM is to use diverse curriculum to tackle social issues in our communities in the K-12 setting. And so I think this is very important because considering the climate that we're in right now in America, a lot of people are ignorant to these social issues, including things like incarceration, racism, the LGBTQ community, and things of that nature. And so we think it's important to tackle these issues early on so that people can grow up and be more aware and make better decisions overall.
So what are some of FLM's goals and why is the organization necessary?
We're going to try to do some interfaith events, some seminars throughout some of the breaks, winter break, summer break, and do some of those. We're also going to try to go around to different high schools and maybe help some kids fill out some FAFSAs or, just go talk to some kids about diversity, LGBTQIA community, and just so on and so forth.
We live in a society where systemic oppression is literally found at almost every corner, facet, anything you can think of. So definitely when we decided to come up with this group, we wanted to address systemic oppression in various social institutions. So it began with education. We all come from low SES backgrounds. We're also, as of right now, we're all part of marginalized communities, whether that is, Black, women, LGBTQ. So we just want to make sure, we just want to create a society that's better for everybody. So at the end of the day, why is FLM necessary? We want to create a better future for not just us, but for everybody.
Next question. So why is there no diversity in the upper echelon? So this is a great question, right? So why is FLM, preaching about open-mindedness, preaching about diversity, preaching about inclusivity, and all of these things, but everyone, for the most part, within the foundation identifies the same, right? So the founding four compromises of four Black, heterosexual, cisgender men, right? And that doesn't look very diverse or very open-minded. Black men haven't always been the most inclusive identity. And the reason for this is really just an arbitrary one, right? We just happen to go to the same high school. We just happen to all have the same vision. Just happen to, see kind of the shortcomings of our high school, despite the fact that it had, this great education, that it was very much so lacking in, that diversity aspect of the classroom, but also as far as what was being taught and the way that different topics were being discussed within the classroom. So that's the main reason for that. We do very much so see the problematic nature of having just a single identity within the upper echelon, and then the two members who we've added since is another Black heterosexual cisgender man, and then the other is Tamara, who is a woman, a Black woman. So we have added women, but we absolutely do see the power in diversity, as the mission of our foundation shows, and in the future we will absolutely be looking to bring in people from different experiences, because we know that it is difficult for us as Black men to speak from the perspective of a woman or of a queer person or of someone of a different religion. So that is definitely something that we'll be looking to add.
What do you want the school to look like?
Based off my schooling experience, K through 12, and through college in my first 2 years, I would want classes where individuals are not taught necessarily to understand a particular set or indoctrination of thought, but taught to think more holistically. And understanding that, I also think that it matters who teaches those classes. I am sick of seeing individuals who have no credibility teaching courses on race, religion, women and gender studies, all of those different topics, teaching and not truly validating the experiences that students go through on a day-to-day basis that live through those identities. I think teaching according to students' needs, so say like the school is supposed to open in 2024. By that time, I probably predict that cars will drive themselves. Understanding that, I feel that it is essential that you teach students to understanding how technology could be used in a productive way. Understanding that right now it's a study being, studies being conducted all over the country, all over the world, that show that students learn more or have a capacity to retain more by scribing, by hand notes, reading books in physical paper copies, rather than, say, looking at an iPad or a Microsoft Excel tablet. It is essential that we can kind of like navigate that space of how do you teach to enhance the ability of students to learn and retain information through technology, rather than it almost like stifle their growth as students. So finding ways to kind of like bridge those gaps and not necessarily teach to the disparity but to the difference of all students is what we feel that we should do in the best needs of the students as we open up our school in 2024.
Last question. So what other areas do you see FLM getting involved in, right? So we've talked quite a lot about education, and our first goal being, starting up a charter school. Some other areas that we plan to get involved in are areas involving politics. So we definitely want to start up a voter registration because we see voter suppression kind of plaguing our society. We believe that every individual in our country, regardless of the background or experiences that they had in their past, should have their fundamental right to civil liberty to be able to vote. We will, as you've probably seen, some seminars that we've had kind of centered around these big topics with younger generations, so smaller initiatives such as that. So politics will definitely weigh in into what we're doing. Not necessarily lobbying, but just ensuring that our voices are heard on topics that we care about. So yeah.
This December, we will be planning, and it's already in the works, to have an interfaith event celebrating the Jewish and the Muslim religions. In the spring of 2019, we are looking to start working on grants, as well as having more seminars. So, in the future, look out for FLM and beware. We're taking over Oklahoma.